Hello everyone, my name is Arnold Mafo, and today we'll be talking about self-acceptance. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of what we have to discuss today, I want to use this opportunity to send my heartfelt sympathy and empathy, whichever one fits into the scenario, to all those who are on the other side of things in the world today. We have the thing going on in Ukraine and in Russia, and I want to say, if you are seeing this, hang in there. We've been through worse, and you get through this one too. Don't worry, God's got you. All right, without much further ado, let's get into what we have to discuss today. Now, today we'll be talking about self-acceptance. Now, this little topic has been lifted from what one of the write-ups that I gave at Experiences Group .wordpress.com. So if you ever had a chance, you go check it out. There are amazing write-ups there. So I picked up one to talk about. So that's self-acceptance. So let's get into it. So the first things first, what do you think? What do you understand by self-acceptance? Now, most of us do things without really realizing that we don't really give ourselves due credit. We don't see ourselves for who we really are. We only see ourselves from the eyes of social media, or see ourselves from through the eyes of our friends, of our parents, or religious leaders and stereotypes and all that. But we have to realize that we have to make conscious effort to actually awaken. Yeah, the Delphic oracle says, "Man, know thyself." Yeah, by Aristotle. So how about we all do some deep thinking and then look into ourselves and then ask, do I really accept who I am today? Do I really accept that I am me and I am happy being me and all that? Well, let's get on into the topic, into this discourse, and then perhaps we'll answer your question. Of course, we should answer your question, so stay tuned. Have you ever sat on your porch and then realized that there are certain things about you that you don't quite like, and you have this self-doubt and you belittle yourself, and then you end up going down a rabbit hole of depression and all that? I hate to break it to you, but you might be doing something awfully wrong to yourself, because the world in which we live in is being dictated by so many things, social media being one of the biggest factors. Now, we have to realize that we as ourselves are made the way we are by design. Some people say it's the Big Bang and then mistakes, and we are here by mistake. No, I tend to disagree. I want to disagree. I disagree, matter of factly. We are not here by mistakes. We are here because we're designed to be, and then we keep comparing our designs with other people's designs, and we tend to forget that each of us is designed for a different purpose in the big picture of life. And then we tend to compare and contrast. Oh no, I wish I could be like him, or I wish I could be like her, or I wish I could be like them, or have more money like these guys, and so on and so forth. And then because we cannot meet certain standards or meet the declaration of the status quo, we tend to lose ourselves like smoke on an harmattan wind. So, and it's terrible, totally terrible, because most of us live for other people and not for ourselves. We live trying to copy or walk in the footsteps of somebody who has even died, and then we tend to do this unknowingly, and then children come after us, and then the younger ones come after us, the later generation come after us, and then they see all these things and then they copy, and then we lose ourselves in an infinite mass of copycats. Yeah, infinite mass of how do I put it? The word eludes me. Well, you know what I'm saying. So, self-acceptance. Now, this talks about why you should accept yourselves. We are all built different. Now, first of all, before we go deeper into what self-acceptance is all about, what is self? Now, I had the opportunity of doing some research and then getting some write-ups from one of the philosophical fathers of the time, Socrates and Aristotle and the rest. So I'm going to read you one of their definitions of self. Now, the total and complete makeup of a being, it doesn't stop there. There, as they go on to say further, that self is made up of the material substance, that's the physical body, and the non-material substance, the soul. Now, Socrates was said to believe that the soul was eternal, never changing, while the body, the physical body, was mortal and subject to change. Now, all this being said and taken into consideration, at least we will know what the self is. So he says, according to this article, it comprises of our physical bodies and our souls, the ones we can't see. So the human bodies, humans were much more complex than every other animal or any other living thing out there, because we're comprised of multiple layers of identification. All right, so let's go on. And now, we are all different. Before we get into self-acceptance, we are all different. A is different from B, no matter how closely related they are. Even twins are different. They have different thumbprints and all that, and different personalities and so on and so forth. Even machines nowadays, the camera I'm using to video is different from the next camera, even if it's the same spec. It has the same specs, or it even has the same from the same company and or what have you. They have the different serial number. They have different. They are always different, slightly different. And we have to realize that we as human beings, and we are more evolved. We are much more better than machines. So why should we compare ourselves to other people out there? Why? It doesn't make sense. You're made unique and perfect, and then you go outside and say, I wish I had this slim body, or I wish I was as built as he is. I wish I could speak like he does. I wish I could fight like he does. No, you're built different. Why do that to yourself? Why? Unknowingly, you may be bringing down your level. You may be bringing down your strength and your uniqueness. You're watering down yourself, and anything that's watered down doesn't have value in the market. We all know that, yeah. So we all have to keep all these things take all these things into consideration before we start comparing ourselves with other people out there. Now, when we get to understand what self is, the other thing we have to do is to accept who we are. Most people, I remember being small, and then we want to be someone else or belong to another family and so on and so forth. So, but I hope you guys understand that it was all wrong. All we did back then was totally wrong, because we failed to see how important we were. Now, it's just like cogs in a very huge machine. Now, imagine you remove all the parts, or you move a little gear just because it looks small and inconsequential. I'm gonna bet with you that machine wouldn't last. Yeah, that's it. It won't last. You'll have one fault or the other. It's just to show how we all, yeah, in our unique faces and unique states, all make up the entirety of the universe. Now, if one person, if all of us are made the same way, where's the fun in that? I mean, think about it. Where's the fun in that? Now, because you have something you think is a disadvantage, and then you beat yourself down because of it, that's totally wrong. You're supposed to own it and then try to be better. Most people, you say you're short, or you're 5'3" and below, and then you aspire to get taller, and then you look to surgery and all that. Why? I mean, love yourself. Yes, I'm short. Yes, I love it. I'm short. I own you in my chest, like the Nigerians would say, I own you in my chest. Yes, I'm short. Come and beat me. If you're tall, yes, you're tall. Do use it. Girl, use the height. Use it. I mean, find some unique thing to do that no one else can do. Own it. So accept yourself. You have to love yourself. Most people out there in our world today, on social media and everything, we always clamor about things like love, like where is the love and all that. The love is right there. It's right amongst ourselves, but we ignore it. And science proves that once something has been kept, hasn't been used for a very particular period of time, it tends to fade. Just like certain organs in our bodies that haven't been used and then they turn dormant, and they're not quite useful anymore. Look at the penguins now. Their wings, they didn't use them. They swam more, so their wings don't to flippers, and so many other animals like that. Even human beings too. Just like when you sing and you don't sing often, and then you lose your voice, and you get what I'm trying to say. So the thing is, be yourself. Learn how to use your uniqueness in this world that we are in. So there are several stages of self-acceptance, and one of the major and key points about self-acceptance is that you have to embrace the past. Yes, the past. I mean, most people say don't look back, but you have to understand that you have to deal with what is behind you before you can get forward. In a way, dealing with the past helps with the future. It sounds paradoxical, but it is true. Now, we have wrongs, yeah? Another thing to self-acceptance is owning your mistakes. Now, we are all human, yeah? And one point or the other, we fall. One point or the other, we make mistakes. And the best thing to do is to accept these mistakes. Accept them, accept that there are mistakes, that you could make mistakes at any time, and then try to correct them. Now, someone has said, I've heard somewhere, that if you make an error once, that's a mistake. If you make an error twice, well, you're being careless. Now, if you make the same error 3 times, then that's deliberate. Then you're deliberately doing something bad. So if you think you have something bad going on for you, and you keep doing, you can't do the same thing every time I expect a different result. So change something in your life. Act differently. That is if you are doing something that is if you think there's something in your life that you have to get rid of. I'm talking about physical things like do surgery on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your soul now, things that concern your soul. So you have to ensure that you correct your flaws. Most people blame or use their flaws, use the presence or the existence of their flaws, and then blame it on star signs. Oh, I'm Sagittarius, we don't do that. Oh, I'm Scorpio, it's expected. Oh, I'm Aries. Nah, to me that's BS. Pardon my English or pardon my words, but you have to work on those errors. Don't make excuses for them. Don't make try to belittle every other person around you, and attribute your crazy behavior and crazy attitude to some fickle explanation like star signs and all that. So you have to make sure you do all. I'm going to take a little piece from the article on experiencesgroup.wordpress.com, and it says that self-acceptance takes a lot of bravery and mind power, and once you learn to accept your true self whilst acting in good faith, the world changes just a teeny weeny bit, and for the better in the long run. So you're complaining about the world being bad and all that, but do you realize that you refusing to do something could be the result of that bad thing happening? It says that the only thing necessary for evil to thrive is for good people to do nothing about it. So you could actually be refusing to do something that could ensure or make this world a better place. What are you going to do about this? Are you going to accept yourself, accept who you are, and try to do something good with it? Or are you just going to belittle yourself and slip into depression and cause problems for people around you just because you think you're not good enough? If you have this school of thoughts, then I must ask you to, or I must suggest that you do something about it, because no one else will help you to do something about it. No one else will help you. You just have to go out there, accept who you are, square your shoulders, eyes front, your chest upright, and then go for it. Well, without much further ado, I will be bringing this to a wrap. And if you have any suggestions, you have anything to add to what I've said, you can leave it in the comments below. We would like it. To be much more appreciated right here at HireyNet. And do not forget to like this video if you think it's worth it. If you think people should hear about it, then don't forget to drop a like, and of course subscribe so you can get more content like this. So this is Arnold. I hope I mentioned my name earlier on. Yes, I think I did. Well, I am Arnold. Yeah, and I'll be hoping to see more of you. Peace out.